la paga. Donde otra la que esta se apaga. Está llamando mi atención porque quiere que le haga. Tú quieres mami, se le viran los ojos. La mira y se relambe. El pinta labios rojo. Esa cintura suelta. Baby, si yo te cojo, te subo a la altura. Tú dime y te recojo. Esa falda chiquitita, ay qué bonita te queda. Yo la veía todos los días, ahora es cuando se pueda. Y de la uni yo la saco hasta donde se hospeda. Y las demás que sigan envidiando, por eso no prospera. Ese culo con la gente más insegura, ella a mí me desconfigura. Mezclado sensual, la calle y la finura, cuando quiere no disimula. El papá a la calle se bebe y se fuma, quiere un tipo que la presuma. Su burri heavy, güey, el jacuzzi con espuma, chingando escuchando a Peso Pluma. Esa falda chiquitita, ay qué bonita te queda. Yo la veía todos los días, ahora es cuando se pueda. Y de la uni yo la saco hasta donde se pueda. Y las demás que sigan envidiando, por eso no prospera.
What's good, yo? What's good, chat? We're live in the building here. Wednesday night. Someone asked, should you still hold gold? I'm in gold buys too, actually. Around, like, it's holding at 5,400. So we're gonna talk about something. It just made a little rebound. I think you asked that question and it just jumped up a little bit. So maybe you're a little bit good. I don't know. We're gonna talk about some things though, guys. We're live here on the session. Hello. Like Paul said, big thumbs up on the video, yo. Shout out Paul, yo. Shout out Paul. Shout out Paul. My guy Paul. We're gonna analyze gold. We're gonna get on the charts in a minute. We're gonna go over some stuff. Someone asked about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's moving. What's Bitcoin at right now? 71? 71, a little bit above 71. What's going on with Bitcoin? Someone said Bitcoin. What's good with Bitcoin? You guys looking at, someone's looking at Bitcoin? Bitcoin's been doing all right. Bitcoin hasn't been doing much. Gold's been doing a lot. Stock market's been doing a lot. Some cryptos have been moving. I mean, it's not like Bitcoin's been dumping. I would have thought Bitcoin would have been moving way more. And if you actually look since like the start of this war, it has been pretty sideways. I might have thought with this whole war going on, all this uncertainty in the market, I might have thought Bitcoin would have had a lot more volatility, up or down. Like, so far it's showed a bit more strength, a bit more control. It's been doing good in these times, actually. It's actually performing not how I would have expected, like a volatility, like up or down. Like it could have went up, but I would have thought Bitcoin might have went down a bit more. But we're seeing it holding itself at the 70s. What's good? What's good? What's good? Caught some pips on buys. Toronto's in the house. Bitcoin or gold, yo? Bitcoin or gold? We can look at both tonight. Do some analysis. Gold's pulling back. Might be setting up, like I talked about earlier, 5,400 and last night. That's the setup from yesterday. Let me take that off. I'm gonna record some fire trade breakdown videos for that trade though from yesterday. That was probably one of the craziest trades of the year so far in terms of just like the movement that it made. It was a pretty big move. I mean, if you look at gold like a year or two ago, you look at gold, let's say a year to 2 years ago range, like 50 pips, 100 pips would be like a good a good movement in the sense of like how it moves. Like I could go to some screenshots that I have of like MT5 screenshots of just like zones that I would draw, and it would take like hours for the market to move 100 pips, 200 pips versus like right now you're seeing 200 pips, 300 pips up and down. So a couple tips. I mean, there's a lot of volatility in the market. Where is it? think I had it here. A lot of volatility in the market right now. Some of you guys might not be used to extreme conditions like this, where markets are really volatile, rapid, back and forth. So, like number 2 here, what it says at number 2, stop needing to be in every movement. When there's like high volatility, like right now, you might get tricked by the market. Volatility might trick you into thinking there's opportunities everywhere because you see things moving hundreds and hundreds of pips, but it's pretty natural right now. So sometimes, like with volatility, the best trade can be no trade, being extra patient, letting the market really pull back or make those extensions up, those pumps up. With that being said, trade smaller. Bigger moves don't mean bigger risk. You don't need to increase your lot size. Reduce your lot size, let the market kind of do the work. If you guys saw yesterday, I had a lot of 001s on gold. You know, I was stacking some 001s into a position. I didn't enter a big position right away, but I was gradually entering that position. 001s in an area. Something we're going to talk about also tonight, later on in the session, because people have been asking about that. People are looking at the screenshots like, holy smokes, how many trades did you put? It was really just about a standard lot size at the end of the day, in a zone, in pretty much like a area that I was thinking gold was going to react off of. We're going to talk a bit about that stuff a bit more later on. Let the market prove itself. That's a good one that I took from like yesterday, really. You know, yesterday, the buy, really, that's something I took in terms of yesterday's setup, yesterday's analysis. You know, maybe it can take some time to let the market really prove itself in terms of a setup, you know. So that kind of goes in with number 2 as well. That ties into number 2 because before the market really proved itself yesterday, you know, there was maybe some reactions that looked like buys, that really look, you know, some smaller signals, maybe some small rejection candles, some bounces, right? So that kind of goes into number 2, like before gold really proved itself with movement. So one thing to take away from yesterday, really, with that setup, when we think about the conditions before that setup, the setup you would really want, right? I think that's the setup we would have all really wanted. We could have been chasing buys before that, chasing buys, maybe looking for buys before that, whatever. There's lessons to take from everything. Even myself, I took a couple losses in the weeks, and I've showed how I've made them all back openly with signals, trades, right? And if you look in that chart here, you know, market's dropping. You obviously want to buy the dip, and then here the market really proves itself. So that's where it kind of goes into those tips there. Where are they? I lost them. Oh no. Hopefully we don't lose them. That's it. We lost them. We're done the session. No, there they are. GG. So yeah, that's one of the lessons. That's some of the lessons to take away from like the last week or so from myself. Here's some tips. I mean, from my trading perspective, experience, market was dropping. Obviously wanted buys. Yesterday, I think, was the day where it's like, okay, we can all agree, if we really look at this, the market proved itself for that. Number 5, don't marry your bias. News changes fast. So right now, all these kind of tie in together at the end of the day, because number 5 is don't marry your bias. News changes fast right now. Sentiments are flipping fast, changing fast. Money is moving fast. Headlines. Market is very reactive to headlines. And we talked about this in two of our videos. So we've done 2 videos like this on YouTube. Some of the stuff I'm actually talking about right now, I've talked about a little bit in some videos. There was a video, I think, around this time last year That was trade gold in 2025, 8 months ago, maybe 8, 9 months ago. This one right here. And I started talking about this in that video where right now the market's very reactive to headlines. These headlines, you know, since COVID, I think even after COVID, we've seen that. A lot of you guys might be used to that kind of stuff in crypto. But like crypto, there's always headlines. But no, you can see these headlines are the ones that matter. These geopolitical headlines, tariffs, right? Tariffs announcements. And then right now, number 5 is important because that's why there is a lot of volatility. News is changing fast. Sentiment is flipping fast. So for instance, if you're just stuck on one setup having to hold, if your zone doesn't hold, accept it. You know, and then come back the next day, come back the next session, or wait for another zone. It's like kind of like market was in a downtrend, proved itself. That's why I say all these things tie in together. And I'm giving you guys some tips from my trading perspective in the last like week or so. Just from anybody who's seen the sessions I've done, like was there for the live trading, the L's that I took, the recoveries, right, and stuff like that, right, all comes from kind of those things, all right? So it's like there could be a trade in front of you and it could work. So what I mean by that is there could be a trade in front of you and it could work maybe for the first 30 minutes, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Maybe you're in a trade and it goes up 100 pips, 200 pips, 300 pips or so, whatever it may be. You're in profit, it's working. And then the trade stops working. That's it. That's kind of where you have to maybe learn how to accept it at times of volatility and not act like, okay, I have to marry that one bias, that one trade right then and there and everything. All right. Because you see, there was a buy here, and then gold went down. And then there was another buy, more buy confirmations, and then gold went down. And then it really brought in like that accumulation, that shift. So that's what I mean, some of these things like tying together. You know, let the market prove itself. Don't marry your bias. News changes fast right now. Especially with Trump right now, like he'll say this, another side will say this. Lots of different things back and forth. It's really, I think, to protect the oil markets at the end of the day. Like oil being at $91, $100 right now, above $100 realistically in parts of the world. That's not a good threshold for oil prices to be in. A good oil price, like there's a too cheap of oil price and then there's a too high of oil price for the world. There's like a threshold they need to keep it in. And, you know, I think part of why you're seeing all this like news change every day, fast news change, you know, like number 5, news change, sentiments flips fast. It's one moment it's peace talks, ceasefire, and then it's no, we want escalation, we're not backing down, we're not stopping until this is over, until we achieve full victory, you know. One day it's that, one next day it's this, 5 days it's pause, and then it's like, oh, is it really pause for 5 days, this, and then now we're hearing by this weekend ground troops deploying. We're hearing going into this weekend, or by this weekend, or I'd say by the end of the month. I think the poly market even has it. I think what are traders betting on here right now? What are we betting on? What are people betting on? Not we. U.S.-Iran ceasefire. I think there's one. Here we go. U.S. force enter Iran by. There's a 19% chance by March 31st, above 60%, 59% chance April 30th, and then December 31st, a 69% chance. And a lot of news. I was just looking on YouTube here, watching a couple of things, different news like CNN, Fox, CNBC, even other broadcast stations, other parts of the world are reporting ground troops deploying. I think they have like 2,000 and like another 50,000, I think, like en route. It takes them days. It does take them days to travel there by ship. So we are hearing that, and that's going into the weekend. I think by this weekend, if it's not happening already, or by this weekend, Market might be closed when they deploy it. Might be a full takeover of that island. We'll get more into some of that stuff later. But yeah, here's some tips for the volatility, because people have been asking me right now. And some of you guys might be new traders. Let's be real. Some of you guys might be, if this is your first couple months trading, or this is your first year trading, welcome to a extreme market, right? And you have to abide by, you know, the conditions we're in, and take it serious. Of course, not get ahead of yourself. Keep it small, one trade at a time. Less trades, more patient. This isn't the type of market you force setups in, especially if you're in the inner circle. Like, if you've been in the inner circle for the last 6 months, 4 months, you've seen I'm usually aggressive with signals more. We're usually boom, 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 more, aggressive. We're not so much like that right now. Even myself, taking a bit more tone, right? There's times where it's like you can, like I'm usually an aggressive trader. Like, especially for those of you guys that are in the inner circle, you guys know. You guys have seen me send 2 signals, 3 signals in a 24-hour period, and multiple in a day. Those of you guys who have been in the inner circle for, I'd say, at least 4 to 6 month range, right? You've seen me send signals active, especially those of you who have been here. So it's like, the last tip here, less trades, more patient. It's not the market to be forcing setups. I even know that as someone who's like been an aggressive signal sender in weeks and days, right? And then actually, here's the last one. Expect fake moves before the real move. High uncertainty equals liquidity grabs, more traps for traders. If you go to that video, Trade Gold in 2000, that's a really good video. Only 1,000 views. That's actually a really good video, because I keep going back to that video in some of my sessions saying like, yo, like I actually talked about it in this video, stuff like this video. This is actually an important video. Same with the 2026 one, right? Same with the 2026 one. 2026 one got 2,100 views 2 months ago. Those 2 videos, like when we talk about like news and headlines, these days market's very reactive to these headlines, as you can see. And sometimes the move happens before the headlines even hit. Like, we'll get the headlines and it's like, has the move already happened? Are things kind of priced in already? Classic Trump will say something and oil will dump, and then there'll be Trump said something, oil dumps, and then oil dumps moments before he says something. And it's like, and then it goes for a recovery. I don't know if you guys saw that the other day. Classic, pretty much Trump right now. I mean, the confusion might not seem random, but it's like they got like this oil U.S. market, Witty crude oil market, and stock market. I don't think he wants the stock market to crash as much. Look at the Dow Jones hit a historical record right before this war broke out. $50,000 the Dow Jones Industrial Index hit right before this thing broke out. So like the confusion with like the back and forth, you're getting these headlines, the fast changes. It's a lot to keep up with, right? I'm even losing sleep some nights because it's like my phone will be blowing up every 30 minutes to an hour. This just strike, or this, Trump said this country said this, right? So like, I meant to write breakout pattern, war breakout pattern. So like, if you look at the stock market, literally since even a bit before this, after we hit a record price, starts bleeding down. Gold, I said last night, anyone here last night? Because I kind of went over this last night even. We were going to pull it up, but we did come back to one of the levels I talked about last night and even earlier today. I streamed multiple times, 4,500. We have talked about that in the last 24 hours, I'd say, a couple times on multiple streams for anybody who's been plugged in. They're saying ceasefire one day, this, and then Iran saying we have no plans to ceasefire. We want to continue our this, that. So, interesting market. the markets, and it's affecting the markets. It's like I just like to trade YC, but there's sometimes it's like you could be here's the thing, you could be in a good setup and then something could be said and it's like you're like, ah man, let me close it. A little bit last night, I think it was like literally 24 hours ago, yeah, 1 day ago, and earlier today. So I mean, I like to stick with kind of like if I analyze something, like this is 24 hours ago for example, like if I analyze something, I kind of like to stick with my plan moving forward. So we were talking about this, if gold could kind of like make this pullback because it broke out, like this is what I mean. I think every single session I bring something up where it's like, okay, if this happens, damn, 733 views, 43 likes, yo, yeah, 1 day ago. See, y'all hating on the boy. See here, we did talk about this already, guys. We did talk about this. I need gold to go up. It just pushed up like 300 pips, thankfully. Because here's the thing, like, it's called plan your trade, trade your plan. So like, if like yesterday, this is 24 hours ago, so I don't always change the narrative. I'm not looking at something new. If it's like, this could have been the only session I done yesterday, and it's like, okay, you know, so I'm still like, I'm in buys at 4,500. I got in a bit before that, so it wasn't a bit of a drawdown. That's why I was like, I needed to go up, and now we're pushing up, which is good. But multiple sessions, even earlier today, I don't know if any of you guys were prepared for this, because like last night, gold was pushing up, and I even said it could go higher up. Like, you could push higher up and still make the same pullback, right? So it's kind of being prepared for that pullback, you know, that, you know, coming back to like, we were talking about 4,500, sort of drew out an area. Which there's like two moves to catch there, really. There's like, okay, I can look for the sells. Or try to look for the sells down. When you mark a chart like this, it's like you're really kind of forecasting maybe two potential directions, like one down, which is likely to happen, potential move up. So all last night, that was the discussion. And even before this session, before price broke, I'm going to tell you guys, before price broke 4,500, I was saying if we break above 4,500, we could potentially retest it. The sessions before this one. So I'm not going to go over that, but it's like here. See? Yeah, literally. So that's crazy. Before, like, even if you go to the sessions before, like I was saying, if we get above 54, or sorry, I keep saying 5,400, 4,500. I was saying if we get above 4,500, could be a level that ends up being retested. I gave you guys the play before the play even looked noticeable as a play, all right? You know? Because go on the session before that, and I was even saying this. That's crazy. Actually, I think back, even the session before this, and I was saying before gold was there, and I was saying this even before that session. That's crazy. Holy, I just realized that. Like, yeah, I've been saying above 4,500 for like the last 2 days, and we could potentially retest it. As I was saying last night, I hit a take profit live in front of you guys last night. Take profit hit live on this account, $9,300 live in front of you guys. That's like good content there. Good content there. You gotta check out. Leo. You gotta check out last night's stream. Go to the stream I did last night. Around 30 minutes in. Check it out. 1 day ago. But I mean, sometimes it's just waiting for one thing and not looking at everything too. Like, you know, there's either one thing or the other. I mean, that's like playing out. Kind of as you guys can see, like we did come down to 54, and we had that discussion all night, even this morning, folks. I think I streamed 8 hours ago. Yeah, I streamed 8 hours ago. 23 hours ago. So I think I would have definitely went over this, 8 hours ago. I would have definitely said, like, yo, wait for 4,500 even. There could be manipulation, like a liquidity grab down. Well, it definitely went over this like 8 hours ago with you guys. I probably talked about, like, that's the thing, like we've been talking about the same thing on the last couple of streams. 4,500 was a key level to watch. I mean, it reacted like 300 pips off of it so far. We did a lot. We did almost a 2-hour stream today talking about this, guys. See? I wrote here 2 areas, 45.50, 45.25, or 4,500. Above 4,500, bullish. That's key level. That's a psychological price. Zeros, like numbers like that, can be reactive. I think there's been a few reactions off of it. It's played some ping pong. I mean, really depends on how the 4-hour closes, because like market structure does have some bearish here. Like right here looks okay. Like, yeah, some rejection could happen there. It really depends on how the 4-hour closes. If we close strong enough above 4,500, I think we'd also have to see like a bit of dollar rejection. If 4,500 is gonna hold, you'd have to see the dollar like get a bit of bearish rejection. It doesn't even need a lot. It needs just like some bearish momentum if that 4,500 level is gonna hold. But yeah, a lot we've gone over in terms of like news. We've talked a lot about a lot of news, but in terms of the chart, we've talked pretty much about the same thing the last couple sessions. Last two, 3 sessions I've done. Even that trend line. Yeah, look, there's a trend line. We grabbed the trend line liquidity. I mean, 4,500 for now has reacted. There is a good zone there on the 4-hour. That, I mean, goes down to like almost 44.40, 44.50. So if price break, like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's confirming a bit. See this area here? So I mean, like, bullish 4-hour reacted already. I did tell you guys though, the last 2 streams, man. To keep an eye on that 4,500. So far, it's like market has pushed up here. See how these moving averages look. There's one here. Still could try to go down to like 45.50 even. There's still a big zone there. 4,500 doesn't hold completely. The market could try to go for one more push underneath and hit that bigger area like in here. That's probably where you get like another reaction. That 4-hour area if 4,500 doesn't hold. Could come into that area though. Maybe a New York session. Area down here. Where's 4,400s? Like if we break 4,500, I expect like price to, come down into that area more. I think that's a good area if it breaks underneath 4,500, like to keep an eye on. Yeah, if we can get like above here, retest, price could try to go up, continue. I mean, if you look at the market, it's done 2 strong pushes up in the last couple of days, like here. 1 push up. So from this low, you had a lower low. Market created this high. And then you retraced. Expanded up. You made a whole other there's like 2 accumulations here and we created higher high. So like if it doesn't shift, if it's like so far it's showing like it could potentially be making a shift above 4,500. If it doesn't, I would expect it to break lower and then still potentially could hold that area where you have previous resistance. But yeah, last couple of sessions, guys. That's why prices like that do matter and time. Because like we looked at this last night and this morning. Like 10 hours ago, 23 hours ago, or 1 day ago. Like around this time. That's one thing like prices do matter and time. Like the market not always going to give you the move you're looking for instantly, right? Price is important also, like 4,500 key level, psychological level. I like to use those as far as areas that it's like price could come back to. And that was last night, like over here. So there's different ways you can forecast your direction on a chart. And you got to pay attention to your charts like that you analyze, like when you're drawing up your charts, when you're analyzing stuff. Something like this, for example, is forecasting pretty much two directions here. And this is a part a lot of traders don't pay attention to. You might be good at looking at two directions opposed to one. Like sometimes it might be worth trying to just look for the sells instead of wait for the buys, right? If you're at a point where you're like, oh, market's higher, it's came up, looking like we're gonna come down to here. That's one thing, like when you journal your charts, when you screenshot, like I've done years of journaling, guys, of screenshots, like how many charts have I sent out to the public, to chats, and just myself, right? Like, so it's like you gotta pay attention to, like, you know, let me see if I can find an example. I haven't thrown any in here. All right, give me a minute. The cat, though. I like that cat. He's pretty chill. Like obviously a chart like this is just one direction, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Because I'll find another one exactly like that. Jesus, take the wheel. No way. Bear with me for a minute. Can't believe we can't find one. I mean, something like this, you know. I want to look for a better example, but something exactly like this, where it's like, okay, this is a nice setup. Obviously, like looking for buys. The more charts you draw up, pay attention to, okay, down and up or up and down. You might be good at that first directional bias in the sense of like where price is going to go before you're waiting for that sell or you're waiting for that buy. I'm surprised I don't have like a lot of charts that show it in here in this chat. Like a break and retest. Yeah, I've gone over this on sessions. Someone tagged me in this. I've showed this on a few sessions. Yeah. Possibility. I'll find another example, another session. Yeah, look at price kind of accumulating. We just swept underneath and made this shift up too. On the 5 minute. 5 minute accumulations right now are risky ones, yo. That's why I was like, if I'm looking for a buy on gold, like the next buy I'm looking, I waited until I saw a shift on the 30 minute and 1 hour. I was like, you know, these 5 minute shifts, yo. I waited until I saw it on the 30 minute and 1 hour. Clearly. like gold, I think as long as we maintain like 4,500 for now, bullish in the near term, like above 4,500, there's that key area that it could come down to and retest at a different time, maybe in London session or New York session tomorrow, right? Tomorrow morning too. Gold's been acting like NQ. Yeah, gold has been acting interesting. It's too much winning, Mr. President. We're afraid of winning. Too much winning. Well, stock market, yeah, it seems bad. Like, I mean, I haven't been looking at like the major stocks price. Like, that's one thing. Like, I gotta take a look at those. What are like stocks? What have major stocks done? I made like Amazon, stuff like that. Apple, those have lost like a bit of money. Like, you know, have they crashed? S&P, you know, S&P has been dropping since the war. US 30. A lot of money. The drops don't look like huge, but a lot of money has gone out. It's like, look at this chart though. This should tell you everything. Where eventually, once the market settles down, once it's like that, like I said yesterday, once the fear and crisis element, once they're past that stage of like the crisis is gone, the element that's gone. But I don't know where the world ever like after like the world after this. It's like anything now. I think what this showed us, like anything can pop off at any time in the world. Shit can just pop off. Because now it's like there's a Strait of Hormuz situation, but before the war there wasn't. It's like now they gotta fix this. They gotta fix the problem. That was no problem before the problem. And it's like, so I mean, look at this. Like, monies leave the market. They find a new place. They find a new active place. Money moves fast these days, and then they come back home once things settle down. I think there's a quote. They say, they say you sell on the sounds of trumpets and you buy on the sounds of cannons. Look into it. It's a quote. You sell on the sell on the yeah. So what is sell on something. Sell on the sound of trumpets, like trumpets. Buy on the sound of cannons. Could this crash keep going? Definitely. That's as like someone as a trader, investor, someone who's in markets, active markets. You always have to be prepared for those types of things. But look at this in the last 6 years. Why is this important? Well, if you're in stocks, stuff like that, it's important when this recovers. S&P, or even crypto, I think this is like a tail sign of like when crypto had, because like all these bottoms, or like these bottoms, were when like crypto rallies pretty much like started. Crypto bull runs came. Like if you look back, like even when Trump announced the tariffs and market crashed, Bitcoin ran up to 126,000. Ethereum still went to like almost 5K. Some things performed more than others. Altcoins, Trump winning an election, that's where altcoins perform more. But crypto, like COVID lockdowns, market crashed crazy. When Ukraine and Russia war started, the market, because that Ukraine-Russia war was supposed to last a couple weeks. It's still going. Russia's actually under fire right now. Like Ukraine launched some drones at some of their oil infrastructures. So like there's some stuff going on in Russia actually right now too. Putin's under pressure now. Russia's under pressure too with this war because they're already in a war. Hey man, maybe Trump knows what he's doing. Hey, it seems crazy, but he knows what he's doing. Let's see. Hey man, sounds bad though when you put it like that. People, yeah. Friggin' Trump, man. Like, you kind of want the guy to, like, have that under control. Like, the last thing you would want, and I don't think it's going to happen, is U.S. dollar collapsing, losing his power. Because that's why he's doing this, because countries, the reason he's doing this is because countries before this are trying to steer away from the dollar, dependency on the dollar, right? So Trump's saying, hell nah. You know, there's one reason, too. Think about something behind this. Or like I said, maybe he's just an actor. 4,530. That's 300 pips from 4,500. I told you guys for the last, how many sessions? The last 3 sessions, fam. That's why you guys got to play, like, this market's, you know, I've said this before. That's the problem about this, this TikTok generation, social media generation, and, like, the way people consume knowledge and experience and skill set these days. You could consume all the content out there, all the information, and it might look easy out there trading, but you got to put in the time. Like that's why I stream a lot, stream active. So it's like, yo, I'm looking for this, because there's not always 5-minute answers sometimes, guys. It comes down to the markets. Like, that's signals. Yeah, signals can be quick, but sometimes you have to keep an eye on things. You know, like this was last night, 24 hours ago. Talked about it again this afternoon, or like this morning. I mean, some of you guys could have caught a trade by now. Like, I bet, like, I know if I look at the chat, like, I'm sure some people did. Like, there has to be some of you guys that caught a trade. If you didn't, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'll be genuinely disappointed. No, that's a different price. Oh, that's earlier. I'll a bit after. Someone caught a trade there. Oh, there you go. Someone caught some trades there. Damn, yo. Flipping the account. Those 001s right now on gold, yo. 0.1s. Oh, there you go. See? There's the people. Look at the trading chat. I would be disappointed if some of you guys didn't catch it, yo. Because I talked about it in the last 3 streams. I would be actually genuinely upset. It would actually break my heart. I think that would break my heart. Key level 4,500. I mean, zeros. Those are key levels. Like, if you look at 4,600, for example, I'm watching these types of levels right now because obviously gold's moving a lot. So I want to be more patient, give myself some distance between where I take the trades. You know, every $25 is good, but if you look at these levels, like 4,600, what happened at 4,600? Extreme push up, rejection there. Good solid price, right? 46. So these are like some of the prices that matter right now, I'm finding. Or like I'm waiting for even like the middle 50, obviously in the middle. I actually did take some buys around 50 and a bit below. So like you can see here, 4,500. Nice couple of reactions. Like some people already did catch trades because they were paying attention. See, some people did. Look at this person, $1,800 floating on some 0.1s. Around 4,500, maybe got in a little bit after. They got a little sell limit. I see that. See, look at the chart around there. That's like a 400. They have like almost a 400 pip move there. That's gold rate. Like, so less can be more. You catch one of those, yo, you could be done for the week. Realistically, guys, like if we think about the less more factor, 1 or 2 of those in the week, like. Usually, obviously, we're used to what. It depends on your experience, like what you're doing, like, right? Right now, it's a market where 1 or 2 of those in a week, you could be good for the week, maybe even the month. To be honest, like depending on the trade, the risk, the lot size. So it's like that risk, that volatility right now, how active you're being. Like usually, we're used to being really, really active. And I'm gonna go over some ways you can be active, like. Honestly, if you could look at the 1 minute and be super active, but you got to be quick. Like you could look at the 1 minute chart. I'm going to show you guys some stuff like in the inner circle later, maybe later tonight or tomorrow. Like those of you guys in the inner circle, I'm going to show you some stuff, but like it might not be for everyone. Like, because it's more of a, make sure you have your coffee in the morning, you're active, like you're not, you know, you're Like we're gonna talk about it. Like there's ways you could look at the 1 minute and literally like you could trade the 1 minute right now, but you gotta be like quick, active. If a trade's not hitting, like scalping basically. But some of those, like if you look at the 1 minute, 4,600. Okay, 5,700. Maybe some scalps there. Didn't hold. That might have been an L. Like if you're in the inner circle, you probably know what I'm saying right now already. Here, scalp. It ended up doing like a break retest, and then it goes down to 50. So you could like scalp the 1 minutes on these, but you gotta be like, that's where you gotta use smaller stop. Like if you're scalping, you can use smaller stop loss in a sense. I find where it's like, because you know you're gonna get like that next setup soon. Comes down to here. Like you could like, there's some ways to approach it, even like way more active on the 5 minute and 1 minute. But when I do that training, I'm gonna say proceed with caution too, and just like start small. Like you could lock in for 4 or 5 hours straight on the 1 minute, 5 minute. It'll be an interesting training. I don't know if you guys actually. It'll be similar to a training I did a year ago from this time. I think it's one of the most viewed live streams I've done. Yeah, from a year ago. It's gonna be similar to that training. It's one of the most viewed streams I've done. It's gonna be similar to that. But when I do this training, I'm gonna say proceed with caution, all right? Because like it's a hyperactive style per se, more active. There's ways you could be way more active, but you gotta be like. I think someone with kind of like a higher energy, don't be sleepy, up. Like if I'm tired, if I'm chilling, like I'm not gonna go for that style. It's like you want your coffee, you want to be sharp. 4,500. Thank God this thing came up. Because I'm going to be honest, I had some early entries. Hey man, say man. Hey man, say man. But I snagged some at that. I snagged some at that 45. Let me see. Look at this person. Like this is solid. This is what I teach, literally. Are they Sasa? They're in inner circle. This is what I teach. It even wicked underneath, so I don't know if they're on this session, but maybe they entered after. Maybe they're in the chat. Are you in the chat? Sasa in the chat. Sasa, am I saying that right? Some people say there's a group of, I know there's a group, there's bears and bulls right now. We got a group of bears and bulls. I know we got like a group of like, I think like 10 to 20 people that are like sellers, and then, oh, there we go, see? So this is like, see, like, let me see. Is this an inner circle student? Oh, this is someone just that plugs in. This isn't even an inner circle student, I think. They understand. Look at this. Some of you guys get getting confused with seeing a lot of the entries, but look, this is someone who's plugged into the sessions, obviously, because this is what I talk about and teach. Around a price, around an area, maybe not even doing a full position, because like, let's say if I have an 001, and let's be real, if it goes down $10, I'm going to be down $10. It's not a lot of money. The price could still be in a good zone. There's a lot of volatility right now, so that's what I have to understand. You have to learn how to gauge that volatility a little bit more, in the sense of, okay, instead of putting like a full position at one price, maybe let me break that down around a key area, around a zone. Like this person did it perfectly. This is what I teach a lot. This person did it perfectly right here. They could have honestly grabbed better price, like at 45. I even got it a bit early actually, so I won't even hate. But could have grabbed like 45. The zone could have even been under. Like price could have even got. Look, they even did get prices. Actually, they did get even under. Actually, I just see that now. Actually, underneath 45. So they got it around the price, at the price, and even a little bit below the price. I mean, they're 001s. It doesn't look like they have a lot. It looks like they have. I can count these. You might not be able to count how many I have when you see one of my screenshots, but looks like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I see 8 total there. All right. So what would that be? That'll be an 0.8, right? Lot size. Here, or sorry, an 08, right? Now it's not like that was put in right away. Like if they put it up here, if the first entry at 45.07 was an 008, and they would have went in a decent drawdown, maybe like 80, 160, maybe close to $200 there. But that would have went down like, maybe $20, depending on where they entered, right? If they entered after the reaction, but there could be drawdown control or getting the reaction as prices kind of coming back up, right? See? See here, this person, look at this, 001, 01, 01, 01, 4504 down to 44.95, so about $10. They entered kind of around the $10 area here, and look, they're up decent pips. This is like, this style of trading is like scaling in. It's how you get lower fills on price, because maybe it looks like they might have entered this first, right? So they would have went in drawdown. That would have been down $10. So those two positions would have been down $10. Those would have been down like $5. Those would have been down maybe a couple bucks, like $5 himself. Or sorry, that would have been down. Yeah, so like those are about like 20, 10, and then like 5. Like so it's gauging that out, controlling that drawdown, right, as well, around a key zone. That's why I'll use prices like that. I'll wait for prices like that. We've talked about this a good amount of times, though. Zeros, like if you look at 4,600, whatever time frame, like there's different styles of trading, and different styles also arrive from personality. Some people are really fast at making decisions, whether that's, if a trade's in profit, boom, it reacts, close the trade. Or if a trade goes to loss, boom, close the trade. Like, kind of like, think about when you're scalping a trade, or think about a trade that you take. You take a trade, and you're in it for 10, 20 minutes, and then boom, it goes into profit, you close. That kind of reaction is when you're like scalping, you need to have like when a trade goes to loss in a way. Same way it's like, a trade goes in profit really quickly, or it reacts really quickly and you close, boom. It's like if a trade, you're taking an entry and it goes in a loss quick, boom, get out before it goes to your stop loss. That'll kind of be like closing a trade before it goes to like the TP you had in mind, right? Most traders close their trades early. If you're scalping, that could be like personality thing, like not everyone has that fast like decision making quick, like let me get out quick. Some people, like I was saying at the beginning of the session, like marrying the bias, holding the bias, and identifying your personality, like how you're gonna lock in. Like sometimes I'll do that for weeks. Like there's weeks where I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking scalp this week, lock in. And then like right now, like the market's moving pretty crazy, a lot of volatility these past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks really. So it's like even since February, coming into February, like middle of February, especially. Like the last month, let's say. What am I saying? 3 weeks, like month. Gauging that. So it's like sometimes weeks can be like gauging that, kind of less is more style. Kind of like you see some of these people, like, I don't know, this is one trade. Like this person had a pretty good result wherever it is. $1,800. This is one trade. You don't need, like, right now, you don't need one to two trades a day right now. You could have 2 trades a week and get the same amount of pips that you were, or more probably. Same amount or more, maybe, to say the least, than before when you were actively taking 1 to 2 trades a day. If you're like a day trader like me, you can probably find that 1 or 2 clean setup in the week that, gives you a solid move. Like this was just like a bounce, and it moved 400 pips, right? Oh my goodness, I gotta fix this, man. This is getting annoying now. I'm fixing this tonight. After this session, I'm fixing this. All right. Anyone else caught? Oh my goodness. I thought, bro, I literally changed it that people can't. How come he can do everyone? What the fuck? More of you guys had to catch gold, yo. More of you guys had to catch that. This mother sucker. I hope more of you guys caught that. Because, yeah, like, even yesterday's trade, I didn't see that many people post, like, results or anything from yesterday. I even sent a signal. Told you guys I was in buys yesterday looking for swings. Crazy. Crazy. Like, those swings, like, I flipped $4,000 to $16,000 with those swings. And then I flipped $2,500 to just under 10K. So I flipped 2 accounts with those swings. Probably about to close those. I'm still holding. That's the thing. Like, I took that on 3 accounts. I took it live in front of you guys on the big account. That wasn't even a big lot size, and that thing made $9,300. It was crazy. That was one of the. It's not the biggest profit I've made on a trade, but it was one of the craziest trades. It was just like a 0.6 lot size, not even a standard lot. It made $9,300 on a 0.6 lot size, 0.63. So it was like not the biggest profit I've made on a trade, but crazy move because 0.63 lot size. Any of you guys in 5,400? Seller buy, always buy, man. It's always buy, man. Leave me. I said yesterday after that trade hit TP, when the trade hit take profit, I said, yo, leave me and my buys alone. You know, leave me and my buys at peace. I like my buys, yo. I like my buys. All right. I tried to send a sell the other day. I got wrecked. Leave me and my buys. You know, if you don't like the buys, yo, wait. What's the sell here? Let's see. Let's see here. Let's go daily. Sell setup. All right, let's go over a sell setup. What can we here to make some of you guys happy? So we got here, up here. Let me come back to this area. Over here. There you go. Simple as that. But it looks like we're still going to push up to there, so. There's your sell setup for you guys that want sells. Or even like if we come back into up here, there's another area. A couple areas where you might, you know, maybe get some sells. There you go. But, oof, what if we take, here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing about that now. But if we take out that high, though, that's, you know, what if we take out that high? It's interesting. See? We take out that high. Look at that high. I mean, we already got this high taken out. It could be interesting, like, depending on how the structure forms here. Over 500 gas stations across Australia's 2 largest states run out of fuel as crisis worsens. You know, Australia's having a gas crisis, apparently, a fuel crisis, apparently. I mean, daily, I think the sell would be next big sell would come from like the daily. Looking for daily rejection at a key area, maybe. There or higher up. One of those areas. There you go. Let's bookmark this session, all right? 3 weeks later. Hey, you guys remember when I marked this up on that session? 2 weeks later. Bookmark this one, all right? We'll see. Let's see. I mean, if you're looking at daily chart, you know. Ooh, yeah, gold moved up. Thank the Lord, baby Jesus. I told you guys, don't say I didn't tell y'all. Don't wait on me. No, I'm kidding. I told you guys. It is like coming to like a support here where it could reject. Yeah, like I do see that. That's like on the 4 hour. Depends on how strong this 4 hour is. Like, yeah, you could reject there a bit. But this 4 hour is flipping. If it's like a strong enough 4 hour, gold could try to go back up. I'm sticking with what, like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not looking at anything new. So I know like some of you guys might be looking for a new setup, a different setup. I'm sticking with last night's freaking plan. You know, remember the quote. The quote goes, "Plan your trade, trade your plan." It wasn't even. It was 2 days ago's plan. So I mean, looks like it's gonna push to like 45.50 here. Plan your trade, trade your plan. So kind of like that. You know, not looking for anything different right now. Maybe London session. I'll come back on, and if the market really changes, there's a different thing to look at. Those of you guys who want sells, sorry, I don't see sells at the moment. Sorry. Maybe end of the week we do. If we're taking out that high, ooh, that is interesting. That's interesting if we're gonna take that out. Sells. Yeah, like. Look at the daily. Like, flip this chart upside down. It probably would look clear to some of you. Like, look at that. There you go. Flip this chart upside down. There you go. So that should look clear. Probably going to try to come down there. Or, which is realistically, like, up there. There you go. Oh, yeah. That looks clear for me. Nice buys. There you go. Yeah. See? In that daily area, like if it's gonna be a bear trend, you have to look for, you know, that next rejection on the daily probably if you're gonna get bear trend down to 4K or 3,900. Wait for that maybe. That's a swing. If you're looking for like those swings, there's 2 zones you can see. Like that's on the daily, maybe getting there one of these days, weeks. Something you could pay attention to. Flip the chart, invert the scale. I like to do that time and time, especially when I'm back testing or studying stuff. When I'm back testing, I like to do it. Studying, I've always done it for years. There you go. Like if you're gonna get, if this is a bear market, right? You know, if we're shifting into a bear market, then here. There you go, lower low. So keep an eye on this retracement. Yeah, if we're shifting into a bear market, market could potentially be lining up for something like that. Invert the scale real quick. Bam. That would have to hold all that, like the last, which is, where's your last low on the daily? Way down here. You could come back all the way to that low or retrace it, meet these moving averages on the daily. There you go. You're like I already told, like, who knows? Like, well, keep an eye on this. Watch, keep an eye on this. This could be like, think about the structure of price. If gold's going into a bear market like everyone's expecting now and everyone's saying, then there you go. Those would be like your bear market continuation plays. Right? What time is it? 9 o'clock. All right. 50, guys, it was 40. I wish that we had a new fresh setup right now, but we're going to have to check back London session later tonight, see what the market's doing, or New York session tomorrow. I'll probably just do an inner circle session later. So yeah, I'll probably won't be on YouTube stream public later. I'll probably just be on the inner circle later tonight. So if you're inside the inner circle, tap in later tonight. I'm going to wrap this session up soon. I'm going to go eat some food real quick and then check back in later. Get some things done here. And then maybe check back in later a bit before London session. If you're inside the inner circle, I will be live later tonight before London session. I'll check back in later tonight, closer to London session, like late Tokyo session. See where gold's at. 4,500 was it, folks. 4,500 was the buy. Just like 4,600 was the sell. 4,600 was like a clear sell. I literally think, what was it like? That's literally like, I think I did. What was I doing at 9:30? I think I literally started taking like a nap a bit before that because I was in gold, closed some trades, and then I hit take profit. I stopped looking at the chart. I don't think I even seen it hit 4,600 until after, until gold was here. That's when I saw it next. I didn't look at it for like some hours. I wasn't even there when it hit 46. I think I literally got off stream last night, ate and chilled, didn't look at the charts. Yeah, remember what I went over beginning of the session? Like if, 4,500, we went over a lot of analysis. Like above 4,500 could be bullish. Like 4,500 could still hold. Yeah, I've like I said, that 4-hour area. I chopped up a lot at the beginning of the session. About this. For now, above 4,500 stays bullish. That 4-hour area is important potentially to get like one more extension up on gold maybe this week. Yeah, like sells, like I said, like if you're looking for sells, like daily might be lining up for that at some point. As it's pulling back, like as you got this lower low pulling back, you're gonna probably retest this support area here or this support area up here. That might be if you're looking for like big trend continuations, because now market might be getting a bit corrective to get there, right? Might be getting in a correction down, or sorry, up. I just inverted the chart. Done for the week. See, someone just said they're done for the week right there. That's saying like right now, like with the volatility, it's not that like, okay, before all this volatility, especially if you're in the inner circle, I was like actively looking for like 1 or 2 trades a day or between the 24-hour period. Right now, 1 to 2 trades in a week or 2 trades in a week could make your whole week. Like you catch one good setup, so you could be extra patient waiting. Like you don't have to put the time in right now to trading actively, putting the time into waiting for an entry point, waiting for a good entry point. Because right now there's a lot of volatility. Like someone just wrote in the chat that they're done for the week. I know there's some people. See another person here. Oh, silver. Someone use silver. There you go. Some people. I know some of you guys are trading silver too lately, like using it as correlation. Someone just said in the chat they're done for the week. I mean, right now with the volatility, like the amount of pips you could catch before, let's say you're taking 1 to 2 trades a day, like before, like right now, like 1 to 2 trades in a week, like if you catch 2 winners in the week, it could be hundreds of pips, kind of average, like you catch hundreds of pips. We did get like, to me, I think this is like a liquidity grab, like price dumped, like we just dumped, but now we're literally accumulating. It's like a liquidity grab. Basically, if you look over here, so see what price did like here and how it dumped right here. Then you went sideways. Same thing kind of just happened here. Now we're going a bit sideways. So if we could shift out of this, if gold can actually really push up, shift out of this, then that could even be like, okay, pull back into this area, kind of like what it did down there. And that still keeps it above 4,500, right? That still keeps it above 4,500, like the zone. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I broke it down tonight. I'm gonna keep it 1 hour here, so it's not like too long. I'm not gonna go over any news. If you're in the inner circle, I'll be on later. So make sure you guys plug in. I'll drop the link after this session. I'll make the link for like 3 hours. So we're gonna be live in at least 3 hours. 3 hours. So it'll be like 3 hours from now, midnight. So not an hour or two, like 3 hours from now, I'll be live in the inner circle. So for now, I'm gonna wrap this session up. And yeah, that's it, folks. Price action, price, whole numbers. I tell you guys, keep an eye on those whole numbers. 4,500 was it. There's good buys there. Could have been done for the week. Like, who was that? Someone in the chat said they're done for the week. If price goes to 5K, you'll be done for the week. Oof. Damn, yo, that's a big move. All right, bet. I mean, if we go to 4,700, I mean, if we break 4,600, I'm probably done for the week. If we get a break above 4,600, we get one more bullish move up, I'm pretty much done. Probably done for the week. We'll see. Yeah, look what happened down there. Low, high, then price corrected. There you go. Might be doing the same pattern. That keeps you above 4,500. Yo, all right, let's roll it. I'm still like, I hate for anybody who missed those buys at 4,500. Sean Lee style upside hat. Yo, that guy used to be like the OG, legit. Sean Lee. Whatever happened to that guy? He went kind of. What happened? I think he got like. What happened to that guy? I think he lives in like Bangkok now or something. Like Bangladesh. That guy was an OG. I remember seeing that guy use 2 standard lots when I first started trading, and I would be like, yo, what the fuck? This guy's using 2 standard lots? Spare quick. You want a little jab, eh? Yo, this guy got the jab. Teacup in the house. Hoo, hoo. Yo, that guy was an OG. He did some sketchy stuff, though, so that's why he had to... Remember Dr. X? I don't know, Dr. X. Yo, that... Dr. X. That was it. Holy... If you're an OG, you know. If you've been around, you know. Probably too much like shrooms and psychedelics for that guy, yo. Like too much psychedelics, yo. That guy went on. That guy, smart guy, yo. Genius, yo. Like, too much of that shit, you'll be fucking. It'll open the world. It'll open the world to you. We did, yeah. I went over it. Stop losses right now. I mean, that's why you gotta be prepared. Like some of the stuff I said at the beginning of the session, some of those tips. If you missed the beginning of the session, I went over some really good tips at the beginning of the session. I forget where they are. I might have removed them. I'll have to drop them maybe in the Discord chat because they're here on my notes. Yeah, they're not on the screen anymore, but I went over some good tips at the beginning of the session. You gotta have to, like, there's a lot of volatility right now, so stop losses, yeah, might be like, whoa, I'm getting stopped out. It's like, so I've been through this before. I remember one time, like, it was in April, not last year, years ago, like, market just picked up with volatility, like right now, more than usual. And like, I'll take a trade, I get stopped out quicker than usual, like, because the volatility, what I'm used to using, like, the stop loss size I'd be used to using. So that's where it's like, lower your lot size. You kind of have to be prepared for that in these conditions, like for the market to be moving a lot. So yeah, you might go in maybe a $10 drawdown, even $20. Like I think right now, like if you're just trading like conservatively, and $20 to $30 is like a good stop loss size right now. Which like before at the maximum we'd usually say like $10, right? It'd be like, oh, like $10, maybe $10 to $15 depending on the setup. $5 to $10 if you're scalping. So like right now, it's like $10 if you're scalping. I think like $20 right now, $20 to $30 gives you some breathing room because there's a lot of wicks, a lot of moves on gold. That's where you have to let it get to extreme points. Like usually when it gets to an extreme point is where it creates those reversals, those sells, those buys. So like right now, I want to just buy on one candle. See how it's just dropping right now, one candle. I want to just like, oh, one candle, I gotta react. No, like let the market like give you more than that, you know. Be extra patient. There you go. There's maybe your setup. There you go. See, I said, see if you stay on long enough, you see here, you see that, you see what we set. See what we find towards the end of the session here. Look at that. It's a little clarity, little chart work, right? Call it time on the charts. TOTC, mother suckers. All right. Time on the charts. Because, like, when you get on the chart, like, think about how many candles have gone by. I've been on for an hour and 20 minutes now. These candles have gone by. Now these candles are starting to, you know, look like, oh, maybe yeah, a little bit of accumulation here, maybe. Like, the moment you get on the chart and open up your laptop, it's probably not going to be something like exactly there. If you spend like an hour or two, you might see something in that hour or two. Look at that. Interesting. But yo, if you're in the inner circle, plug in tonight if you can. I'm going to go over more analysis, see where the market's at. And then I'll be live tomorrow. Also, New York session. I've been live in New York session the last couple of days, but I'll see everybody next session. Please subscribe, yo. If you're new, subscribe. What'd you say? Might be optimistic. It might be a bit. Yeah. That's what I was saying. 5K. If it goes to 5K, I'll be. Yeah, I was like, damn. Yeah, you should be done for the week if it goes to 5K, because it might take the rest of the week to go to 5K. So if it goes there, like that's what I mean. You're like. Yeah, you'll be done for the week. It might take the market the rest of the week to get there, yo. So that might be a bit optimistic right now. Yeah, like maybe like say 4,700, you know? 4,700, I think. This is what the poly market's saying, guys. Might happen by this weekend, yo. I think it's going to happen in the next week or two, probably. 5K, that's... might be optimistic. I know there's a lot of volatility right now. Things are really moving, but yeah, that it's a stretch. It's a stretch. If gold like confirms more on the 4 hour and it actually really just stays above this zone, then yeah, a stronger move could build up to there. I mean, on the daily, remember I went over. Makes sense, but where's that? Is 5K up here? This level? Oh yeah, it is. That is around 5K. Yeah, like you got these. It might be a stretch, y'all. This person aiming for 5K by the end of. I mean, if you're in buys, depends on where your buy entries are. You might have buys down here, so you might be not like where price is at. That could be a sell zone. So yeah, I could eventually get there, but by the end of the week, yo. We got these lows. So that low, there you go. There's your, for you guys that want sells. All right, here's my sell setup for you guys that want sells. Because someone said, why don't you sell or something? Why no sells? Only buy. I think I saw something like that in the chat. There, one of these areas. There you go. Like I said, leave me in my buys. Leave me in my buys alone. Leave me in my buys alone. All right. Buy the dip, no chip, whatever they say. I don't know what they say. Try to make there. Fuck. Are you happy? There you go. It's a good setup too. Like it's not a like I'm not like this is a good setup too. There you go. For the people that are saying what there. We got a sell setup. But it's not right now, but hey, looks clean still. And that's if trend is going to continue bearish. I mean, if they do like a ceasefire, if things end swiftly and smoothly sooner than later, peace talks, negotiations, ceasefire, whatever, I mean, that could maybe lead to more bearish tension. That signal has not arrived yet, though. So it's all blah, blah, blah until then. Or it's all boom, boom, boom until then, basically. But yo, peace, peace, peace. I'll see everybody later. Inner Circle, like I said, if you're inside the Inner Circle, guys, tune in later.